Wise words indeed. A dangerous morning drive here in Metro Detroit. We are tracking snow squalls, whiteout, and sub-zero wind chills.
7 News Detroit, of course, has you covered. We've had live drive out there on the roads all morning long, keeping an eye on freeway conditions and, of course, just general weather conditions.
That's right. And we're also getting a better look at the surface streets, which in some areas are even worse than the freeways.
And, of course, we can't forget about the bone-chilling temperatures outside. The wind chills make it feel like we are below zero in so many communities.
A lot to get to here on this frigid Thursday morning, December 12th. Thank you so much for waking up with us. I'm Alicia Smith.
And I'm Keenan Smith. Now, I know a lot of you parents out there are watching to see if your kids will have school today. And we do have those school closures on the bottom of your screen, and they are beginning to add up. Right now, we have 29 of those closures, and they'll be scrolling on the bottom of your screen all morning long.
Yeah, that's right. We have 15 delays at DTW and 4 cancellations, causing a mess, of course, on the roads as well. So we have Team 7 coverage for you this morning. 7 First Alert meteorologist Mike Taylor tracking those deteriorating conditions. Ryan Marshall and Brittany Tulis are both live out on the roads for us. But we start with 7 traffic anchor Allie Hoxie and the big picture out on the freeways. Allie?
So I'm starting to see more of those crashes. We got a couple of them here on 696, like at Groesbeck, and on I-94 to westbound 696. Been keeping an eye on northbound I-75 right here at 9 Mile off to the shoulder. Now, here's what I was kind of predicting earlier, that as the snow moved through and moved south, we would start to see conditions worsen to the south, and that's exactly what has been happening. So northbound I-75 at Schaefer, there's a car that has spun out on the freeway. Police are there, but it is blocking a lane of traffic moving 20 miles an hour. You can also see westbound I-94 near the Gateway Bridge. We have a slowdown there as well. Eastbound I-96 at Telegraph only moving 3 miles an hour in this spot. Currently listed on my drive as other, but there are bad driving conditions out there, and that is reflected out on one of our MDOT cameras, where you can see right from Beach Daily at I-96, it looks more like a parking lot this morning. So Schoolcraft does run parallel to this spot. Now I want to send things over to 7 News Detroit reporter Ryan Marshall in 7 Live Drive. And Ryan, you have been crisscrossing Metro Detroit since 1 o'clock this morning, speaking with drivers. What are you seeing out there? What are you hearing out there?
Well, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody out there. Conditions here we're on, well, we came off of eastbound I-94 in St. Clair Shores, and what we just saw is I-94, that interchange onto westbound I-696 has now been closed. St. Clair Shores Police is putting flares out. They're putting flares out right now, blocking traffic and diverting them onto 11 Mile. And as you can see right here, there is a lot of traffic. The roads are awful over here, and so bad that St. Clair Shores Police has decided to close that ramp coming from eastbound I-94 onto westbound I-696. What we were seeing coming up the highway is that it was very poor conditions on the road. These roads haven't been plowed at all. There really weren't any tire tracks on the road, and so people really were trying to find just a space on the highway to drive. The roads are very slushy, very messy, and so we had a chance.
We're out here solid, making things happen.
We knew that we were going to get snow, but was it more
Not
than
this much? I didn't expect this much, I'll tell you that.
The slick, whiteouts. I was driving like 10 miles an hour, up 12 miles.
What sort of advice would you give to people out here in this condition right now?
Drive slow and try to pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't speed.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on the road.
And back here live in 7 Live Drive, and I got to tell you, it is very slow going here, both westbound I-94 and eastbound I-94. Just the update that we have here, Allie and guys back in the studio, is that St. Clair Shores Police right now have blocked off the interchange if you're coming eastbound on I-94 going towards the ramp on westbound I-696. They have placed flares down. There are police cars blocking that interchange, and they're forcing people onto the on-ramp to get on 11 Mile, which is what you're seeing right here. Now we have to travel down a little bit until we get to most likely Mound Road from this 11 Mile or actually 11 Mile turns back into I-696 here. So We are experiencing very poor conditions here, but for now, I'm Ryan Marshall from 7 Live Drive here in St. Clair Shores, passing into Roseville now. We'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, Ryan, that is a great look at the highways out there and what folks will face when they get their day started and kick off the morning drive.
And you saw it there. He was really having to slow down their crew. So thank you, Ryan, for that live update. Now from the freeways, we go to some of the other major trunk roads in the area. 7 News Detroit reporter Brittany Tulis is live from Southfield for us this morning, checking on those other roads so many commuters have to traverse in the mornings. How about it where you are, Brittany?
Yeah, Alicia, we are seeing a lot more commuters. I'm right on Telegraph Road off of 12 Mile. And last half hour, I told you the weather had stopped. Well, Mother Nature heard me. It is back on. The snow is back falling. You can see the wind is still blowing. You can see snow being blown off roofs. And if we look at the roads, all of that work those early commuters from 5 to 6 did clearing the roads, the snow has undone. You can see that far lane is no longer clear. The road is kind of all slushy all over, but these cars are still, we've noticed, not really slowing down. They're kind of driving at normal speeds here. We're not also seeing anyone really slam on their brakes, which is good news, but we are still seeing cars driving really quickly, and you can see the snow blowing right onto the road there. So even if the snow is hitting the sidewalk, it is still ending up on the road with this wind. You can see cars turning right now too. The only slippage we've seen is when cars turn right onto Telegraph from 12 Mile because their back end will fishtail a little bit, but not been terrible. Now, we did talk to somebody at this gas station this morning who was on their way to work, and they got a nice little tip from a friend to be careful on their way in. Just take a listen to what he had to say.
It was a rough one. It was slippery. I just didn't expect it to be like this. I got a text early in the morning that said be careful on the way to work. I saw some loose and fast drivers and some slip outs.
Yeah, and you can just see the snow blowing back out onto the roads here. That also means that the visibility for these drivers is a little less than it was just 20 minutes ago. That's how quickly this weather is changing and how quickly these roads here are changing. You can see this car turning right as well. There's also more buildup on the very far right lane of these roads near the curb. So if you're on these side streets, the far left lane is looking to be more clear, but the closer you get to the curb, the more buildup there is. So be careful and slow down. And like I said, 20 minutes ago, the snow was not falling and these roads were clear. We're in a different situation, so make sure to stick with us because this is quickly changing and we just want to keep you guys up to date on your early morning commute. But for now, live in Southfield, I'm Brittany Tulis for 7 News Detroit this morning.
Yes, slippery indeed. And although it looks a little better towards the center of Telegraph, when you go to pull over or make a turn, that's when you get to that area by the curb that you just mentioned, Brittany, and it could be really dicey. Thank you so much.